Welcome back to Quiet 40. This is a space where we slow down to listen to the lessons midlife is trying to teach us. I'm a fellow traveler on this path with you, and today we're continuing our series, When 40 Sneaks Up on You. In this episode, we're going to talk about why peace starts to matter more than passion. If you've been looking for a moment of reflection in a noisy world, I'm glad you're here. Let's begin. There was a time, not so long ago, when passion felt like everything. It was the North Star we all followed. We were told to find our passion, to chase it with every ounce of our energy, and to let it consume us. In our 20s and 30s, life was measured by intensity, ambition, the constant, relentless push to become more, to do more, and to feel more. Back then, you measured your worth by how hard you worked, how many fires you could start, and how far you were willing to go to prove yourself. Passion was the engine that kept you moving through the busy years, the long hours, and the heavy responsibilities. It gave you a sense of purpose when your clarity was still forming. And for a long time, that fire was enough to keep you warm. The shift in the heart. But after 40, something begins to change. It isn't a sudden cooling of the heart. It's more like a quiet shift in what the heart asks for. You notice it when excitement no longer sustains you the way it used to. You notice it when intensity begins to feel exhausting rather than inspiring. The things that once lit you up now leave you feeling restless or even depleted rather than fulfilled. This is the moment when peace begins to feel valuable in a way it never did before. In our youth, we often mistook peace for boredom. We thought a quiet life was an empty life. But now, you realize that peace isn't empty at all. It is grounding. It is the solid soil beneath your feet that allows you to finally stand still. The beauty of the ordinary. Peace doesn't arrive with a grand gesture. It shows up in the ordinary, overlooked moments of a day. It's in the calm of a morning before the world wakes up. It's in a familiar routine that no longer feels like a trap, but like a comfort. It's in an evening that passes without a sense of urgency or a looming deadline. These moments, which once felt forgettable or even dull, now feel essential. You start choosing peace not because you've given up on life or because you've lost your edge, but because you finally understand life better. You've realized that while passion demands energy, peace provides it. Passion asks you to push, to prove, and to perform for an audience. Peace asks for something much deeper. It asks you to listen, to slow down, and to protect the few things that actually matter. The intentional use of energy. After 40, you become acutely aware that your energy is no longer an endless resource. You can't just bounce back from burnout the way you did at 25. And that realization changes how you spend yourself. You become more intentional, more selective, You stop pouring your spirit into situations or people that constantly require you to go into recovery mode afterward. Peace becomes your new filter. You start asking yourself simple, honest questions. Does this drain me? Does this bring clarity? Or does it bring chaos? Is this pace sustainable for the person I am becoming? And if the answer is no, you find the strength to step back. You do it without the need for a long explanation or a defense. You realize that no is a complete sentence, and peace is a valid reason. The maturing of fulfillment. This shift can feel strange at first. You might worry that you're becoming less driven or that you're losing your spark. But what's really happening is that your definition of fulfillment is maturing. You no longer need intensity to feel alive. You no longer need constant movement to feel meaningful. You've lived enough years to recognize that calm is not the absence of life. It's the presence of balance. Peace allows you to finally be present, not planning the next move, not replaying the last mistake, just here. And you realize that presence is actually more valuable than potential. Relationships and boundaries. You also notice how this internal peace begins to affect your external world, especially your relationships. You find yourself gravitating toward people who make you feel steady. You no longer care about being impressed by someone's resume or challenged by their intellect. You just want to be understood. You lose your patience for emotional turbulence. You stop confusing chaos with connection. You realize that a relationship, whether a friendship or a romance, should be a harbor, not a storm. This doesn't mean you stop caring deeply. It means you care wisely. You protect your nervous system and your mental space. You understand that constant stimulation comes at a cost you are no longer willing to pay. Coming home to yourself. Peace allows you to hear yourself again. It uncovers the real thoughts and quiet needs that were drowned out for years by the noise of ambition. You realize how often passion led you away from yourself, pushing you into roles and expectations that never truly fit. Peace gently but firmly brings you back home. This is why, after 40, so many of us begin to simplify. Fewer commitments, clearer boundaries, a smaller social circle. It's not because our lives are shrinking. It's because they are finally becoming focused. Peace teaches you that not everything deserves a reaction. Not every opportunity is meant for you. And certainly, not every battle needs to be fought. The strength of stillness. There is a quiet, indestructible strength in this shift. It's the kind of strength that doesn't need to announce itself or seek approval from the crowd. Peace gives you a new kind of resilience. When things go wrong, and they still do, you recover faster because you aren't already running on empty. When plans change, you adapt without the old panic. You trust yourself to handle whatever comes because you are no longer at war with yourself. You're no longer chasing moments. You're building a rhythm. A life that feels livable and beautiful, day after ordinary day. This doesn't mean that passion disappears from your life entirely. It just becomes selective. It is reserved for what truly earns it. The people you love, the work that aligns with your soul, and the moments that are worth the precious energy you have. Peace doesn't dull your life. It clarifies it. It strips away everything that was never essential, leaving only what is real. One day, you look around and realize something simple but profound. You're not less alive because you chose peace. You're actually more alive because you are finally, truly at home within yourself. After 40, peace isn't the absence of ambition. It's the presence of understanding. And that understanding changes the way you live everything that comes next. Thank you for sharing this quiet space with me today. Life at 40 and beyond isn't about having all the answers. It's about finally asking the right questions. If today's reflection resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Your story is a valuable part of this journey. I'll be back soon with the next chapter of our series, where we'll explore the people you stop explaining yourself to. Until then, take care of yourself. I'm a fellow traveler, and I'll see you in the next reflection.